Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have a sore hole. I was running a race today in the 210 at Hereford, and the trainer said to me last night, "You're only out for the gallop tomorrow." And I just said to her, "Miss Faulkner, the trainer, I said, are you doubting my ability? I said, I won a flat race for Richard Hannon, rated 72. I'm not that slow. She says, it's your first run over hurdles tomorrow. You mightn't be up to much." So anyway, on the turn for home, I said to myself, I could catch these if I want anyway, but seeing that your man wasn't asking me, I didn't bother to increase the pace. But coming to the last anyway, but Jesus Christ, did he get out the stick and give me 2 cracks across my hole. By God, then I woke up, pinged the last, and I wasn't snug enough anyway, and I had more up my sleeve as well, but not too bad. Jamie Moore just said to me as he was passing the line, he said, the reason I gave you a couple of cracks, he said, DC had a tenner on you at 33-1, and he said that Buzz the Cat was meowing all morning and purring, hoping that Mickey D would win. Chris Benson, Dom C 1804 as well, and that they were all looking forward to get money out of the bookies' satchels. So brilliant that a horse can win at 33-1. Anyway, joking aside, that's the second time Master Mikey D won there a couple of weeks ago. 33s into 16. So it's a lucky name. And we had a lucky day. Got off to a great start. Inca Prince. I had the wedge on. Lovely little horse. I knew it didn't run itself, do itself justice the last day. Out in front. I drive a bus, as some of you know, bringing special needs kids to and from school. So I have a special needs assistant with me on the bus, and she's a bit tech savvy. So I just said to her, I said, "Will you here?" I gave her my phone. I said, "Will you put on the race?" So we were listening to it, and I heard the commentator saying, that he's running too free and he'll pay for this later on. And I said, "Oh, Jesus!" So the next thing I could hear, and I couldn't see it, you see, because I can't take my eyes off the road. But I heard him saying, Inca Prince, 10 lengths clear. I let a big roar. And the next thing, the kids started roaring. So it was just like the bookie bashing bus in progress today. It was absolutely brilliant. And we stopped for an ice cream. 3 of them. So that was great. And my late brother used to always say, when we do get a bit of luck, just share it around, Anyway, it was great. That's a great start. And I'm just after seeing Sam Rogue bring up the double. That's a local horse here in the Roscommon colours, and I was fairly confident of that because it was only out for a spin to gain a bit of confidence the last day, and I heard the owner was gone up today, and I got a couple of calls. That's why it's about 5:30 now starting this, because a few non-punchers were on today, and I'm fairly big. I was surprised. Putting hundreds on today. Jesus, unreal. So it's a great day. I've seen a couple of messages left in there, new to the channel. Dean173, welcome. Tom Mitchell, he was gone out the back garden, pushing the wife in the swing. Thomas Dudoso. Jim Morrow from the Shepherd in County Down, you're very welcome. Dan Yates, Robbie O'Malley, Ross 1B. Damien Kelly had the few pound in the wheelbarrow, and he said he had to go and get the truck. David Shields and Tiernan Murray. And if there's any more new ones, I'll mention you in the next video. It's absolutely brilliant. That's what I'm trying to do, is build up sort of a rapport with everybody, and just to try and win a few pound off the bookies. That's all my aim is, and has been down through the years. I'll never charge. I don't want anything from anybody. If I'm making a pound, so I like to pass on the bit of knowledge and judgment and experience that I have, because that's what life is about, isn't it? Anyway, great double up, and money for tomorrow. What a day tomorrow. The king is out tomorrow. The king of my stable, Hukum. But this compares with the Breeders' Cup in my eyes. I look forward to it every year. And Royal Ascot. They're the 3 main meetings on the flat, and somewhat Goodwood when it clashes with Galway. This will be a few hours before it goes up now, because this could take a few minutes. I don't want to cut it short, so if it runs more than 10 minutes, you see, it takes way longer to upload. But anyway, you'll get it at some time tonight. The first race tomorrow is at 12:20. The Godolphin Mile, a Group 2 on the dirt. And the Foot is the favourite, 4-year-old by Dubawi. He heads the market about 11-4 now. He made his race course debut last March in Lingfield for Charlie Appleby when he was second. 2 further place runs in April, and he was sold for an absolute fortune because I backed him 2 days before Christmas and he skated home. The race was up over on the turn and he was 7-4 into 11-10 or 6-5, and he won. He's a decent little horse. He was equally impressive then in a conditions race before finishing second to Hot Rod Charlie in the World Cup prep. And he stayed with him for a lot of it in the stretch and he died out, which was very good run, but 11-4, if you're putting him into a few multiple shorties, you have, 3 or 4 favourites stick him in. Small win bet probably as well to get but don't give that money back to them. But there's an interesting horse there, Full Flat. It's a Japanese 5-year-old and it hasn't run since it won the Saudi Cup last year. It beat Mishrif, that good horse of Johnny Gosden's, into second, and it's 16-1. If that's fit, it's worth this. They're paying 5 places on that. It'd be worth an each way bet. Because why did they not run it in Riyadh in the Saudi? Why did they not run it? They saved it for this, and the Japs are fairly shrewd. It's well bred as well. So at 16-1, have a look at that. The 12:55 is a 2 miles turf race. There's lots of familiar names in this from people that follow the flat. Couple ex-Irish horses there as well. But there's a right tool in this. This is worth just the entrance fee alone to see this lad tomorrow. Manobo. What a size of a horse. He's a 4-year-old out to see the stars. He's 4-4 last year. His first run was in Newbury in mid-May. And he went off 5-1 that day. His first 2 runs was in England. Then his 3rd and 4th runs were in France. He hosed up in St. Cloud, winning a Group 2 in Longchamp on that as well. He beat Camare. And in his prep run out there, he trounced the field. He's an absolutely huge horse altogether. And he's a massive, massive head. Reminiscent of a lot of the breeding that they do, the blue boys in blue do now. Like Adiar, the one the Epsom Derby last year too. Massive big head on the. It's a great sign of a horse, So this yoke is 1-2. It'll win. It can be put into multiples with people having bets. The 135 is the 6 furlong sprint. Man of Promise is 2 for 2 this year. It won first time out last year and then it sort of form tailed off, but it was good the last day and it won in a good enough time too. A Case of You was second and it's up against him again. Emiratiana disappointed the last day. It was a horse that I was followed last year and won money with, but it may need again another run before it shows true colours. There's an interesting horse here, Casa Creed for Billy Mott. It's a 10-1 shot and the bookies are paying 4 places and it's 11-2 without the favourite. But at 7 furlongs in Riyadh the last day, he was gaining, just didn't get there against Songflight. But he had a 6 furlong race in Belmont last year and it was a grade 1. He was wildly impressive. Now, if he breaks anyways middling, and if he's thereabouts with a few lengths back, he'd be finishing fast. It's going to be a good race. But him at 11-2 for anyone doing each way. Each way, we'll say you could put in the one in the first run, and each way look at 15. The one in the first race at 16s, and this one at 10s. Just hoping that the 4 of them might be placed if you don't get a winner. I always say try and bet small and win big. The 210 is a 9 furlong Group 2 dirt race. Pinehurst for Bob Baffert. So down the field in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, but it won a Group 3 in Riyadh over a mile. But there was a horse that was second the last time to that. I think he could turn the tables. Sekifu, Seikifu, Sekifu. Christian De Muro was on him and he's a good judge of pace. he might turn the tables. They're paying 5 places again. He's 13-2. Pinehurst is a 100-30 favourite, I think. I'm not that keen on a lot of Baffert, some of them second time after a layoff. The 245 is the Golden Shaheen. It's a 6 furlongs dirt sprint. Dr Schivel was second in the Breeders' Cup sprint. It got noted on the line that day. 9 runs, 5 wins, 2 seconds and a third. Ignore his last run, something happened. He was 7th of 7. But Flavian Pratt is riding him. He's 11-4 favourite. Breeders' Cup form could be an advantage there. The 320 is 9 furlong turf race. There's 15 runners. There was one last year, very impressively, by Lord North for Johnny G. That's John Gosden, but I've always called him Johnny G since he trained in California way back when I was out there. When he won last year, he hadn't ran from the previous November when he had finished 4th in the Breeders' Cup turf to Turnawa. He had no prep run, but he had a prep run this year in the Winter Derby. Alan Kerr beat him. You can see that he was only just out for the gallop. This should put him spot on. 9 furlongs, fast run race. His 12 lifetime starts, 6 wins, 2 seconds and a third. Colonel Leam for Todd Pletcher won the Pegasus Mile. We backed him that time. Over 9 furlongs was impressive enough. He loves this distance. Shell Meister won the Group 2 in Tokyo last October. Hasn't run since, has been saved for this. And had previously won a Group 1 in Hong Kong. Good turn of foot. And leaves it very, very late to get there. Mata Fafamet is a 4-year-old Frankel colt trained by Willie Haggis. Hasn't been seen since August in York. Was 4th in the Judgment to Mishriff. And Saffron Breach won the Sun Chariot in October in Newmarket. Estoni Philly or Mayor up against the boys. It's a tough ask for her. Lord North is a 5-1 shot. It's a massive each way play. Book is paying 4 places. I think Johnny G is out there as well. Now, I'm pulling in the bus now, and everybody has to get off, right? Everybody's off for this race. Come on, you boys at the back with the cans. Come on, all off. Hukum. Hukum is in business in this race. Mile 4. Fasten your seatbelts and enjoy this now, I'll tell you, everybody. This is the best turf race, 1.5 miles I've seen in a long, long time. Authority, he won the Ria Turf. He's a Japanese horse over 1.2 miles. He previously was second in the Japan Cup to Contrail, and Sharar is vying for favouritism. He was third in that race. Glory Vaz won the Hong Kong Vaz in Châtain in December. Pile Driver was second. Both of them reopposed as well, and they're up against it. Alan Kerr won the Winter Derby, as I said. They're beating Lord North. He was 9th in the Prix de l'Arc. Yabir was last seen beating Broom Tiona in Japan in the Breeders' Cup. When you look back on it, wasn't that great of a Breeders' Cup when you see Broom and Japan 2nd and 4th? Because they're like rated in the mid 115, 160 in that bracket. And Tiona, I thought it was more impressive at the time. And you have to hope that he's sort of right. Then we come to our buddy, Hukum. Owen Burrows, Jim Crowley. Last seen winning a prep race. Snug enough. And he was drawn wide that day. He was beaten without a fight. Who was in it again for the Christfords. He ran in only one Group 1 before. That was in the Ledger 2 years ago. But it wasn't as good as he's right now. Dubai Honor was last seen 4th to Love's Only You in Châtain Group 1, mile 2. I think that's going to run a massive race. I was very impressed by it. Got sort of out battled at the 9 furlong pole and just coming again running strong towards the line. That's a 10-1 shot. I think that's an each way play. Dubai Honor. And I see Hukum has gone out to 12-1. I thought 10s earlier on before it ran was a good enough price, and I've a nice bet each way on it, each to get in the first 4. But Dubai Honor is a very interesting horse. It previously was second in the Champion Stakes. But it's a difficult Hukum is drawn out wide, but it done that the last day. I'm just hoping it can be in the first four. And Dubai Honor is a horse as well. But I'm not going to go, but I'm going to enjoy this race, I'll tell you. My friendly DPD courier, Rob, dropped off a small little pallet of Radox powder this morning. So I might have a Radox bath tonight after the two horses winning today. I do that normally to put the laptop on a chair, loop the race and watch it a few times as you lie back. I started that last year when Hukum won in England, and hopefully we'll have some ready for tomorrow night as well. So when Rob landed off this morning there with the DPD van backed it into the drive, I said this could be our lucky day, and it was so fair. So anyway, that brings us on to the Dubai World Cup. 10 furlongs. Life is Good, 6 out of 7 lifetime. It was beaten in 7 furlongs at Saratoga Springs by Jackie's Warrior, but it won the Dirt Mile Breeders' Cup, absolutely hosed up. Then it stepped up to 9 furlongs in the Pegasus World Cup in Gulfstream, and it bet Nick's Go, who had won the Breeders' Cup Classic. It went out in front that day, and the race was over after halfway. Never ran at 10 furlongs before, is the only doubt. And there's another slight little niggle there as well. It's Out Into Mischief, and that's the same sire as the horse that's favourite for the sprint. So you'd wonder if that's as good at 6 furlongs, and this is at 9. You know, it's 8 to 11, 4 to 6. It's very short. When you have Hot Rod Charlie, 4-year-old by Doug O'Neill, it was third in the Kentucky Derby last year to Medina Spirit, the one that got thrown out, Baffert joke. And then it won the Pennsylvania Derby over 9 furlongs. It was 4th in the Breeders' Cup, but it led on the turn and it died in the last furlong, to suggest, did it run out of gas? Did it not stay the distance? There's a doubt about that as well. Which leads me to a very interesting horse. Country Grammar. It won the Hollywood Gold Cup, and it showed off great battling qualities, I thought, that day for Bob Baffert. But it's only new in his yard. It originally was, it was, God, I forget who it was. But it was second in the Saudi Cup, and Frankie Dettori is riding. And I think at the other two could breakneck speed, could outdo each other and blunt each other's finishing speed. And this one could sit up and pick up the pieces. It's a 10 to 1 shot. It's interesting for me with the other two wanting to, watch it mark each other. The boys in blue rely on Real World. It has made giant strides since winning the Royal Hunt Cup handicap off 94 in Royal Ascot, and it finished down the field in the Saudi Cup. There's my hints and suggestions, and I know a lot of the viewers are National Hunt, but this is a meeting that I just relish every year, and somewhat lucky in it down through the years as well. That's what I'll be doing tomorrow, a lot of them. Don't go mental, enjoy the day, it's a long day, and I gave the 2 for the Lincoln, one for Saturday and Sunday. Hopefully they will run well, and I may have 2 for Sunday. I'll try and go tomorrow. I haven't missed a day since I started the 24th of March, so as long as my health and interest continues, I'll be here for you. Anyway, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the racing tomorrow. Mickey D, over and out. Bash those bookies.